Hello, come on in. Welcome to Conversation Matters. How can I help you? Absolutely. Do you have your prescription with you? Thank you. All right. A conversation about flu season? I do have a conversationalist available right now. Would you like to leave your coat there on the rack? No, you can keep it on if you'd like. I know, it's chilly outside. Okay. I've already let him know that you're here. You can take your prescription and go right through that door. He's ready for you.
Oh my goodness. Come in. Sit down. Sit down, please. Of course. Do you have a fever? You look terrible. I don't usually start off this way. I like to be a little more uplifting, but you look absolutely devastated. What's wrong? Can I see your prescription? Let me see. Oh, it all makes sense now. Do you have the flu? Are you too embarrassed to admit it? Oh my goodness. I just got my flu shot a week ago, and then, as funny as it sounds, about a week later I got a bad case of flu myself. And it happens. Don't be embarrassed. I got the measles. I got a measles booster and my flu shot at the same time. I didn't get measles. There's nothing to be embarrassed about because you got the flu shot and then you got sick a few days later. It happens because it's going around. It's flu season, and the shot only helps with certain strains. It's okay to be upset about it. I know. I'm not a big flu shot guy. I work a lot, so I just don't take the time to go get a flu shot. It's just, I don't know if you want to call it lazy or just stubborn or what. But as I'm getting older, I realize I should probably take a precautionary measure, and I started taking it again. And I haven't had the flu in years. So I'm getting my flu shot. I haven't had the flu in years. I've been feeling great. I got the flu shot and the measles booster, like I said. And I got them both in one arm. And, my wife did too, because we're traveling and there's all these breakouts of measles. And, if you haven't had a measles booster, certain age groups, your shot may not be good anymore. So we fell in that group. So since we're traveling a lot next month, we decided to get the booster. And here it is a week later. I don't have measles. I don't have measles or polio or anything else. But I did get the flu. And I don't think the flu shot caused it. That's the problem. A lot of people, they hear little things and they think, well, that's why you got it. You got the flu shot, now you got the flu. It probably would have been a lot worse. The flu probably would have been a lot worse if I hadn't got the shot. But my body had already had time to build antibodies up to the different flu viruses out there. And I think it's very important that we recognize that vaccines work in general. Now, there are people who can't get vaccines. They have autoimmune diseases. They have, low immunity disorders for different reasons. So the rest of the herd, they have this thing called a herd immunity, like people like me and you that are healthy. We get the shot to protect them. To prevent the spread of the disease through the population. You don't actually have to inoculate every single cow in the herd to prevent the disease from spreading. You just have to inoculate enough of them that the disease can't get a foothold in the population. Oh, you didn't know that? Well, it seems like everybody knows these little things like, oh, he got the shot, now he's this, or now he's that, or he's sick, or that's what killed him. But they don't know the reality, the facts, the things that really matter. And look at you, you're suffering so badly because you're embarrassed to go get help. Because you don't want anybody to know you got the flu after you got the flu shot. This is terrible. Here, have a drink of water. No, I'm serious. Please. Have a drink of water. Take it. I don't want it back. You can have the whole bottle. Well, I don't want to get the flu. When you're beaten up and you're beaten down, it is so easy to just give up, isn't it? I'll tell you what, when I had the flu, it hurt in every part of my body. My legs ached. I couldn't sit down for long. I had to get up and walk around. I had trouble walking even because it just hurt so bad. But it felt good to get, just to stand up and walk around even in a circle. Felt fantastic because it just got the blood moving and that pain went away. That aching pain. The only thing that really worked for me was sleeping. But I slept kind of funny on my hip, and then my hip was just killing me for days. Oh my God. And then this flu was different. Maybe because I'm getting older. My eyes hurt. Oh my goodness. My eyes felt like they were swollen in the sockets. I couldn't turn my eyes side to side. They ached. They hurt. They lost focus when I turned my eyes. I'm sure somebody else will tell me, well, that's not the flu. You had this. But I'm telling you, as soon as the flu symptoms and the fever went away, my eyes started feeling good again. And I'll tell you what, I had a fever, and it just would not break. And then I took some cold medicine, and I said, I'm going back to bed. I had to go to work. In a little bit, I said, I've got to go to work tonight. I can't miss again. I got to go to work. And I curled up and just piled the blankets on me. And I laid there for like an hour and a half. I woke up soaking wet. I was sweat covered, soaking wet from head to toe. I got out of bed. I was disgusted with myself. I'm totally disgusted. I changed my clothes. I got cleaned up. I thought I'll get a shower, get this off me, this sweat off me. I can't believe this. Got cleaned up, dried off, put my work clothes on. I'm driving to work. I'm sweating worse on the way to work. I'm sweating like a maniac. And it's cold out. I'm like, I'm going to get a chill. Then I'm going to get pneumonia. Then I'm going to die. You start giving yourself all these crazy thoughts. And I just could not believe how much sweat poured out of me. And it was that fever breaking. My body finally said, we've had enough. My body finally got the edge on whatever it was that was doing it to me and just destroyed it. And I find that so fascinating. The human body can do something like that. And it's like, you take the cold medicine and you take the aspirin and you take your Tylenol and your ibuprofen and your NyQuil and oh my God, it wreaks havoc on my blood pressure like crazy and you're suffering. And all that stuff does is ease your symptoms. It does reduce your fever. I will say Tylenol will keep you from burning up and dying from, an extreme fever. But it basically just relieves your symptoms. You've got to let your body take over. It's one of those instances where the body is in a fight for its life. And the only way it can get rid of that virus is to heat the body up so much that it burns up that virus. And I'm like, it'll keep going up and up and up trying to burn it out. And then, it ends up killing you. And I tell you, I don't know if I had a fever when I laid down, but my wife said, you're hot. She touched my forehead and said, "Oh my God, you are hot," right before I went to bed. And I'm like, "I know I'm hot, baby. I know it's hard not to say how hot I am, baby." Of course, I haven't had a kiss for like 3 days. She won't touch me. So I'm not that hot. I really don't know what to tell you. It is so hard going through this kind of an illness. I swear, if you break your arm, you break your leg, the doctor puts it in a cast, you get some pain medication, you get a few itchy spots. You're okay. All right, you can deal with it. It's just a matter of time. You forget it's even there. The flu, you lay down and you wish you were dead. I swear it takes the life out of you. And I'd like to touch on something else too. It really made me think for the last few days of my life when I had flu. I said, is this what my friends with chronic pain go through every day? Is this what a chronic pain sufferer goes through every day with all these aches and pains, this invisible demon, this energy, just destructive force, tearing down every single element of their body constantly. And the pain is constant. I'm ready to fold up after 3 days of the flu. These people live with this on a daily basis for years. I don't know if we think about it that way. I don't know if we take the time to think about what other people go through. And somebody with chronic pain or arthritis is constantly in pain. And I know this is probably not an uplifting subject for, this conversation, but sometimes I think we need to think about these things and focus and understand what we're dealing with so that we can better understand what we're dealing with at the moment too. I had to go to work. I couldn't call off. We were already shorthanded. But I thought about it, and I could have stuck somebody with my shift. But I thought, I'm going to go do it. I'm going to go. I'll be by myself. It's an overnight shift. I won't get anybody infected. I'll clean everything up with Lysol. I'll tell them to use Lysol after I leave. Clean everything up. We have plenty of cleaning supplies. I'm not sick, like, vomiting or anything else. I got a fever and body aches. Okay. I'm probably already not contagious because that part's already passed. Now that the symptoms have showed up. But I thought to myself, I can't do this. I just can't do it. I'm getting older. I can't do this. I'm really sick. And then I thought, I have friends who are in constant pain every day. And they get up and they go and work a full-time job too, Mike. They go to work. They support their families. They go for walks in the evening. They'd sit down after a hard day's work and they plan meals. They go to the grocery store and they do their homework with their kids. And they maybe even have enough time just to throw a couple loads of laundry in before they pass out every night. All you gotta do is get your fat, lazy ass in that car and do 8 hours. You can do it. And I did. I did it. I just was refusing to allow myself to give in to the pain. It may not have been the smartest decision, and it might have been excruciatingly painful to fight that and to go to work 3 days straight with a fever and miserable and just stuck. But I did it. And you might say, you might have infected your co-workers. No, like I said, I'm by myself. I use cleaning supplies and I made them aware of the situation. I could call off, or I can work, and I can clean the desk before you take over, and you can clean it before you assume it. Would you rather I call off for the next 36 hours of work, or do you want to risk it? And I was amazed to find out that they'd prefer I worked those 3 midnight shifts. I guess it's, a little cleaning, and I don't have to work overnight, a double. Yeah, I guess I could wipe some Clorox wipes around. I can wipe a mouse and a keyboard down. And it got me thinking, you hear all the time about people on radiation treatments, chemo, fighting cancer, and how hard they struggle. And then you think about your own problems and you think, I'm so lucky. I'm so grateful that I just have the flu. And I actually came away with it before my fever broke. As miserable as I was, I actually came away thinking, I am so grateful this is just the flu, because I could not deal with this every day. I don't like to touch on religion too much, because I think it's a very personal thing. But I do believe you are given your fair portion, and only what you can handle. And I know I can only handle so much of that. I've fought different conditions my whole life and dealt with them and put a lot of things behind me. And I've always tried to stay in good health, especially eating my vitamins, getting my checkups, taking care of my blood pressure. Things like that. But I am neglectful in other ways. I don't go to the dentist as often as I should. I don't go to the eye doctor as often as I should. And when I'm sick, instead of going to the doctor, getting a note, and just calling off, I tough it out sometimes when I could get away with, a few days off and a doctor's note. And I don't want to sit there and judge myself too harshly, because I've always been a little bit of a workaholic. And some of that's good, and some of that's bad. Sooner or later, something's going to catch up to me and knock me down a couple pegs. And this last time I had flu really, really felt like it knocked me down a couple of pegs. It took me down off my high horse. I had just got done doing a flurry of work, and I had so much done. I was so far ahead. I had made so many arrangements and helped so many people, and I was going in a perfect direction, but I was overdoing it. I was staying up till 4:30 in the morning sometimes after working 8 hours. And, I don't go to work till afternoons or midnights. But I was depriving myself of sleep. I ran out of vitamins. I take a multivitamin every day. I take a couple other little minor supplements. And one of my main multivitamin ran out. Instead of taking like a couple vitamins to supplement the fact that I wasn't taking my daily multivitamin, I just ignored it, because that's what you do when you're invulnerable and perfect and nothing's going wrong in your life. And I didn't eat right. I ate, one meal was Doritos and peanut butter crackers was one of my meals. I love peanut butter crackers, don't you? I just love those little 6-packs of peanut butter crackers. I just love them. I know. There's something about... I could eat them anytime. Like, breakfast, what do you want? Cereal? You want eggs, bacon? You want pancakes, waffles, French toast? How about just a simple little pack of peanut butter crackers? Yeah. It's amazing how much I really like them. I just love them to death. I don't know what what it is, but ever since I was a kid, you go up to those vending machines and you put your money in and you get a little tiny pack of cookies or, crackers or, peanut butter crackers, or they had little shortbread cookies in there and little vanilla cookies. Oh my God, those Lance. I don't know if everybody knows Lance products, but Lance makes the best little packs. They have like 6 little cookies or 6 little crackers in them, and they make these little vanilla cookies. They're little round Oreo-looking cookies with the cream in the middle. And they are the absolute, I'm talking the absolute best cookie ever made in the history of humanity. And as far as I know, since the beginning of time, you can only get them in a 6-pack and a multi-pack of Lance cookies and crackers. Now, if anybody knows where I can get a volume pack of Lance vanilla cookies in a like a family pack for the holidays, that would be great. I would be forever in debt to whoever finds those for me. Well, it's just one of those things in life, there's something like, there's a perfect cookie and there's a perfect cracker and there's a perfect piece of cheese. And there's that one time you had that piece of cheese that was so perfect. I remember one time at New Year's, my friend's mother, she was French, and her dad owned a wine store, an actual wine store in France. I don't want to give too much information away. Very nice people. And she knew wine. She knew champagne. She knew anything that came in a bottle. And she also knew how to drink. She was a hell of a lady. She gave me a glass of champagne that she searched everywhere for this. And it's very hard for her to find it in the United States. And she found it. I had this champagne, and I've never in my entire life had champagne that tasted this good. All the stuff they have in the United States is this brute garbage that's just, it's just, throw it under a bus, just run it over. This champagne, one glass, all you need is one glass. It's so perfect. And there's something about that. You don't want to drink bad champagne or eat a nasty cookie when you've had something so perfect. It really is something, and it's that thing about life that makes the human experience such an ultimate thing that can't be quantified. You remember that one time you kissed that girl and it was perfect. And that one time, you held hands with someone and it was perfect. And, the first time you had that snuggle with someone and it just felt so right. And things are different. Things change. And all those little perfections in life seem to come and go. And it's amazing to me that those little moments stick with you for your whole life. And you think, I'll never top that. I'll never have that again. But in a way, you do. You have that memory. You have that beautiful, perfect memory. And you should never let go of those things. You should always cherish those moments. When you find that perfect breakfast at that perfect little diner, enjoy it. Go back again if you can. Visit it often before it passes away. I know all this sounds silly. I know I'm off track, but the whole idea was to get you off of feeling nasty, feeling bad and feeling nasty about your flu, and getting you to think about cookies and feeling good about yourself. And if I did that today, then I hope I did accomplish something, silly as it sounds. And I hope you feel better. Now you take that water, and here's some aspirin. Do you want some aspirin? Okay, here's a couple aspirin. And I think you'll feel better. very soon. It only lasts a little while. I hope you get well soon. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us for ASMR TirarADeguello. Remember to stay tuned for the next episode, coming soon. When you have a moment, please take the time to rate and review this podcast. If you are interested in additional ASMR content, you may view our library of videos at youtube.com/TirarADeguello. The theme song, Atlantis, is by Jason Shaw of Audionautics.com and is used by permission. Correspondence, including questions or requests, may be sent to TirarADeguello@gmail.com. On behalf of Dr. Andrew Michaels, thank you.